Welcome everyone, this is Vlogs of an Idol. My name is Joen. For today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how I did my custom Marvel Legends figure, Mr. Knight. Now, there's still no Mr. Knight figure released by Hasbro, but with the upcoming series of Moon Knight and the teasing of a Mr. Knight character, Hasbro might finally release one. But we can't wait for that, so I decided to make my own one. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional customizer, I just did this as a hobby, and actually, this is my first time fully customizing a figure, so please go easy on me. But before we start, if you'll enjoy this video, a quick thumbs up and subscribe to the channel would be crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Now for the recipes for this figure, I used the Young Nick Fury body and hands. I highly recommend using Deadpool from the Hit Monkey 2-pack because you don't have to fully repaint the figure white, and that would make things really easy for this custom. But if you're into painting figures, you can use any chameleon suit body mold or the movie Professor X from the Magneto 2-pack because that's more comic accurate for Moon Knight. I use Blizzard's head and fisted hands, but you can also use Archangel's alternate head and Citizen V's tape fisted hands. Now for the paint, I used Bosny Primer Gray spray paint, Sherlock's for the white paint, and Samurai Flat Clear for the top coat. Now the first thing I did was disassemble the whole figure. I used two different methods, the boiled water method and the blower method. I used two different methods because I had a hard time doing the boiling water one, and I'm actually more familiar with the blower method. I don't know why I even tried doing the boiling water method. I guess I just got really influenced by all the tutorials I've watched, but it was a lot less helpful for me, so I recommend just doing the blower one. Tip on removing the pegs, use a flat-like tool or long nose pliers to push through the pegs. Heat them constantly as well so that the plastic gets all soft and it will be easy to push them. But anyways, after you've disassembled all the parts, it's time to sand the joints and parts that are going to be in contact with each other. In this way, the paint would stick properly to the figure. I'm too lazy to sand the whole figure, that's why the outcome got a little crazy.
That's crazy.
Even on the joints part, so if you're gonna be doing a custom repaint, make sure to sand the figure properly. I'm using a 100 neat sandpaper on this custom. You can probably get them at any of your local hardware stores. Now that I've sanded the joints, I then primed the figure with Bosny Primer Gray spray paint. Note when starting to use spray paint, make sure you've shaken the can enough so that the paint will come out of the nozzle. Spray at the distance as well so that the paint won't come out wet. Now that the parts are all painted in primer gray, we'll have to wait for 24 hours to add the white coat of paint. In this way, the paint will dry off nicely and it'll stick and stay to the figure better. After 24 hours, it's time to spray the first coat of the white paint using the Sherlock spray paint. For anyone asking if it's okay to mix spray paint, I can confidently say yes, you can. It does work if you're having Bosny as your primer, then Sherlock's for the white coat. I'm actually using a different brand for the top coat as well, so yeah, definitely works. So after 24 hours, I added another coating of white, then go straight spray painting the top coat using the Samurai Flat Clear spray paint. All of these spray paints are actually used for motors and car parts, but here's your proof that you can use it for toys as well. Now that's done, we're now at the tricky part on this custom, assembling back the figure. Just constantly heat up parts when putting it all back together, and if ever it gets confusing, just look for certain indications if it's for the left and right part and if it's for top or bottom. In my experience, I had a hard time inserting the peg back because I didn't notice that the lower leg was facing the wrong way, so I kinda messed up the paint and the figure, so I had to repaint the part over again. Forgot to paint the pegs as well, and I got really lazy and repainted them while it's assembled, so it got sticky on the joints and made it hard for the figure to articulate. After having that commotion, I added outlines for the eyes and the moon symbol on its forehead. And here is the finished product. For the first custom project, I would say that it still turned out great. Joints are still tight, actually very tight because of the paint. It still stands well, and most importantly, it looks like Mr. Knight. It's fun and exciting to customize figures as long as you know what you're doing, and if ever you're planning on doing one, try to do it on a bootleg figure first, or any figure that doesn't mean and costs you a lot. My total cost for this figure is 1,347 pesos for the parts and materials, and I can still say it's pretty worth it. Hopefully Hasbro will release a Mr. Knight figure soon, but if you can't wait for that long, you can try customizing for this one. And that's it for this video, guys. If you do like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell for you to get updated on every upload that I make. I do it weekly. And yun, guys, see you on the next video. Bye bye.